Anna silently picked up scattered toys, searched for the remote, and collapsed into the overstuffed chair. She turned on the TV, returned the remote to the table, and lost herself in dreaming. It hadn't been that long ago since she met Mark and fell in love with him. He swept her off her feet, a love story she read about and wanted for herself. When it happened, she knew Mark was the one. She remembered her family saying he wasn't right for her and that she shouldn't be with Mark. She loved him, and that was enough for her, so she ignored their comments and actions toward him. As more memories flooded her mind, she turned her attention to the family album sitting on the old, cracked coffee table. She opened the first page and visited the memories the pictures brought her. She smiled with each wedding photo and all the pictures of her children's births. As she glanced over at the pictures taken at her mother's house, Anna pierced her lips, recalling the sad memories of the time. Anna remembered the day they moved in with her parents. Linda, her mother, sat at the round dinner table drinking a diet soda, something she always drank. "Anna, if you're going to be living here, you will pay for your food. I'll shop to ensure the babies have what they need." "I'm their mother. I know what they need. Besides, Austin still drinks breast milk." "Not while you're taking the medication. He will need formula." "All right, Mother." Anna knew from a young age not to argue with her mother. The memory shifted as she remembered her weekly visit to the women's group in her church and smiled. She sat in a comfortable chair around the table as the women discussed one of the books of the Bible. She hadn't spoken a word during their discussion during this particular meeting, which wasn't her normal attribute to their weekly meetings. During their break, Anna quietly got up and helped herself to a cappuccino package and added hot water to the mixture. "Oh, that's my favorite flavor," Mrs. Burns said as she picked up a package and gave it a little shake. "Have you had a cappuccino before?" "No, I hate coffee, so I thought I'd give this a try," Anna whispered as she kept her face lowered. "Tell me, what's been bothering you, Anna?" "I don't want to be a burden." Anna took her cup to the table where she'd been sitting and took a sip. It was hot and delicious. Mrs. Burns shook her head and abandoned her drink. She joined Anna at the table. "You would never be a burden in the house of the Lord. Tell me, what's bothering you, child?" Anna wanted to cry out. She was tired of being called a child. She knew what Mrs. Burns meant, so she bit her lip. "I've been dealing with postpartum depression on top of the depression I already have. The medication isn't working, and I feel like I'm going nuts." "I understand, sweetheart. We've all been there," Mrs. Burns said. "That's right. Anytime I have Satan in my face, I demand him to leave and lean towards the Lord," Stacy Adams said as she sat down. "What do you mean?" Anna asked. She was confused. Things like depression didn't come from the devil, did they? As the Wednesday night women's meeting turned into something new, Anna listened to the women with all her heart. Whenever Anna had a bad thought, she turned toward God and demanded that Satan leave her sight at once. To her surprise, the thoughts came less often. She stopped seeing the doctor, stopped the medication for postpartum depression, and continued forcing the devil out of her head. The thoughts went away, and she was feeling much better. It didn't feel like it was that long ago when she sat around that table with the women. Now she had 3 children, and things were better in her life, and she was more content than ever. Her eyes became heavy, and the photo album slid off her lap. When she woke up, Mark was standing over her, smiling.